Mr. Jones was excited to start his new job as a history teacher at St. Mary's Academy, a prestigious boarding school in the countryside. He had always dreamed of teaching at such a place, where he could share his passion for the past with eager and bright students. He was also looking forward to escaping the city, where he had recently gone through a messy divorce and a stressful lawsuit. He arrived at the school on a sunny morning and was greeted by the headmaster, Mr. Smith, a friendly and charismatic man who welcomed him warmly. Mr. Smith showed him around the campus, which was impressive and well-maintained, with spacious classrooms, modern facilities, and a large library. He also introduced him to some of the staff, who seemed polite and professional, and to some of the students, who were polite and respectful. Mr. Jones was assigned to teach the senior class, who were preparing for their final exams and graduation. He was impressed by their knowledge and enthusiasm, and soon established a rapport with them. He enjoyed teaching them about the history of different civilizations, cultures, and religions, and encouraged them to think critically and creatively. He also noticed that the students were very close to each other and to the headmaster, who often visited their class and praised their work. Mr. Jones felt happy and fulfilled at his new job, and soon forgot about his troubles in the city. He also felt a growing attraction to Miss Lee, the art teacher, who was beautiful and charming, and who seemed to share his interest. He asked her out for dinner one night, and she accepted. They had a lovely evening and agreed to see each other again. Everything seemed perfect until one day when Mr. Jones made a shocking discovery. He was staying late at school, grading some papers, when he heard a strange noise coming from the basement. He decided to investigate, thinking it might be a rat or a broken pipe. He followed the sound, which grew louder and more disturbing, until he reached a door. The door wasn't fully shut, so he gave a little push and opened the door. He wished he hadn't. He saw a scene that made his blood run cold. He saw a large room, dimly lit by candles, with a pentagram drawn on the floor. He saw a group of people wearing black robes and masks, chanting in a language he didn't recognize. He saw a large altar, covered with blood and bones, with a knife and a book on it. He saw a body lying on the altar, naked and mutilated, with a gaping wound on its chest. He saw a face that he recognized, that he had taught, that he had liked. It was one of his students. He gasped and dropped the papers he was holding. The noise alerted the cultists, who turned to look at him. He recognized them too. They were the headmaster, the staff, and the students. They were all there, except for Miss Lee, who was nowhere to be seen. They smiled and removed their masks. The headmaster said, "Mr. Jones, we're so glad you could join us. We've been expecting you." Mr. Jones felt a surge of fear and confusion. Mr. Jones tried to run, but it was too late. The cultists surrounded him and grabbed him by the arms and legs. They dragged him towards the altar, where the headmaster waited with the knife and the book. "Please, no, let me go," Mr. Jones begged. "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" The headmaster ignored his pleas and opened the book. He read aloud from the ancient text in a language that sounded like Latin, but twisted and corrupted. He raised the knife and brought it down on Mr. Jones's chest. Mr. Jones screamed in agony as he felt the blade pierce his flesh and his heart. He felt his blood spilling out and his life fading away. He saw the cultists' faces, twisted with ecstasy and madness. He saw the headmaster's face, smiling with satisfaction and malice. The cultists cheered and praised their dark god. They had completed their ritual and offered their sacrifice. They had fulfilled their destiny and secured their salvation. They had killed the teacher. They left the basement and locked the door behind them. They cleaned themselves and changed their clothes. They acted as if nothing had happened and prepared for their graduation. They were free to leave the school and enter the world. They had a mission to accomplish. They had more teachers to kill. Meanwhile, outside the school, Miss Lee was waiting in her car. She had been watching the basement window and saw the candles go out. She knew the ritual was over and the sacrifice was done. She smiled and started the engine. She drove to the front gate where the headmaster was waiting for her. He got in the car and kissed her. The headmaster said, "Hello, my love. How was your night?" She replied, "Wonderful. How was yours?" He said, "Perfect, my love. We did it. We finished. We have been waiting for this to happen for a long time." She replied, "Yes, we did. And now we can start our new life." They drove away, leaving the school behind. They had a new destination, a new identity, and maybe a new mission.